Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Learning. In this episode, we're gonna tackle some classic problem. I might have done something similar in the past, but I'm gonna do it differently. In the past, I might have used animation nodes to do it, but now I'm gonna use SpriteShop, and let's see how this can be a little bit simpler, even though slightly more complex, maybe. Okay, SpriteShop, hexagonal, sampling. So the idea is basically we're gonna have an image and we want to be able to sample the color of the image. I'm gonna use this Buddha image. Hopefully this is open source. Credits to the photographer. So how do I start? Okay, let's start with a SpriteShop and then have a brick grid. With the brick grid, we're gonna basically have the points that we needed to do this. By default, this node actually generate bricks, and if we just hide the face, the polygon face, we just look at the lines and the points. If we hide the lines, we actually have kind of almost like a grid pattern. Okay, we could do it in few different ways, but I like to do it. I like to keep the bricks for now, and then actually what I'm gonna do is to separate the bricks and just get the center points of each and every brick. And with that points, we can actually do the image color sampling much easier. It sounds very complicated at the moment, but it's gonna be clear soon. Polygon boom nodes, this guy can separate polygon faces. That's gonna be the first. What's happening here is if I scale, if I'm not wrong, if I scale the vertices using the center point, center of the polygons, center. Okay, yeah, so that seems to be working. What we need is actually just kind of points that stagger like this. We're not gonna scale the face, but we know that polygon boom separates all those brick faces, and now what we have, we can use the center origin of each of those faces, which is just these points. And since we want to sample this photo of Buddha, so we need to arrange the points a little bit. Let me play with this, the height. So that's more or less kind of correct. Maybe the height can be 20, this can be 8, actually something like that. Unit width, and okay, this is controlling the resolutions of these staggered points. Okay, so that's cool. We can soon be able to sample this. What we need is viewer bmesh. So this is gonna output the points, and we're gonna merge it into a single point. So we don't want multiple objects, just a single object. It's called alpha 0. Okay, with these points, we simply just use Blender displace modifier. Okay, so this is the first step, generate points. With this displacement, we can sample the image. Basically, just create a new texture and then just get the Buddha image, and then I think we are pretty much done, except that we need to have some kind of reference object. I have this square, and this square is gonna be our reference objects for the texture, because with points we cannot have UV, so that's why we always have this kind of reference object. Okay, see, you can see the points kind of moving around. That's actually representing the Buddha image. Soon you will see. What should we do next? I'm gonna increase the number of points. Until it started to see, you can see kind of the shadow of this Buddha image of Buddha. Kind of. Okay, so we get rid of this mid-level. I think we almost have this ready. Direction can be RGB to XYZ. And yeah, I think we are ready. We can actually have less of this point. So I think I just made the resolution just slightly too high. Actually go back to higher number. 0.5 it seems to be good for now. File save as. Cool. Okay, now we have these points. We simply need to pipe the data back into Spreadshop to generate our hexagonal pattern and then to give it a color. New Spreadshop node 3, and then I'm gonna objects in gonna get the selection, which is our points being disturbed by this image. This guy should be paused. This guy is original. So the difference between those guys will be the color. So remember, this is the points being disturbed. This is the original points. I just use the not simplified subtraction, factor subtract, and then the result is actually the RGB of this that's already being sampled by this point. Okay, so first of all we need to have hexagonal, and we can use circle for that. Viewer, we're gonna use viewer draw for this. The matrix in is gonna be the points, position, and now we have this, and then we kind of we have the circle being instanced on all these points. We just need to make it smaller. Hopefully we have the hexagonal pattern. So yeah, that seems to be pretty close. I'm not sure if I should rotate this guy on. Perhaps I should rotation. This guy goes in there. Center axis. Let's use Euler and then rotate it in the z-axis. Okay, there you go. There you go, actually 30 degree. Now that's pretty much almost like a hexagonal pattern. Almost perfect, not exact. It needs to have the right number, but it's okay for now. We can always adjust the original points. Let's actually make this a little bit smaller. Okay, something like that. And what's gonna happen next is we're gonna output the hexagonal and give all these faces a color. Okay, for that we need to have Vmesh MK2, and this guy goes in there. We have 1160 of these hexagonal shapes. Make sure we merge it, otherwise we have like 1160 objects. That's not gonna be efficient. But now that we have merged it, it's just a single object. You see how clean this is? Okay, we're gonna switch to cycles. Okay, this is not the final result is gonna be, you know, just this image being sampled into all this hexagonal sampling color. And there is one more thing that we need to do is create a material and assign it, and make sure with this material we give the attribute svcol. That's the name of the vertex color that's gonna be assigned into each and every polygon face, hexagonal face. Go back to SphereChalk here and then use the vector color new nodes, and we pipe in the color and we assign our objects to the face, update it, and hopefully this actually works. There you go. Yeah, it's actually working. So yeah, I'm currently in the vertex paint mode, and I can, you know, I can give it color, etc. But SphereChalk's gonna override that. If you don't want this override and want to paint your own color, you can do that. Just disconnect this thing after you're done. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole process. It's very simple, a little bit technical, but it's basically you first generate some points, right? The points can be anything, but it needs to be flat. In order, just to simplify this matter, you can have like a 3D points in the 3D space scattered everywhere, but I think more structured points in a 2D kind of flat ground is simpler. Once you have that points, you just simply displace the points using the image. Like in this case, I have this Buddha image. And then once you have that, you go to the sampling, and then you generate this hexagonal using circle, and then just instance it, and then it's done. It's basically done. We just need to set the material, pipe in the vertex color, and render. There you go. That's pretty much it. The only there's one thing that let's say you want to change this point, this arrangement. You can still do that because everything is procedural, and any changes you make into the node tree gonna change the whole thing. So if I go back to the bricks grid, I can save this first. This is the good setup. Now if I make this smaller, zoom in on this, I can basically go to vertex paint, and then in this mode I can make this, I can have less or more of these points. Let's have a little bit more by reducing this number and update it. You see it's the things changes. I can even have more of these points. Maybe I need to scale my circle at some point. Now they're kind of overlapping. I definitely need to make changes to the other node tree. 0.16, kind of guessing the number. Okay, that's pretty close. The width and the height, maybe I make 16 and an update. Didn't change much. Height, let's go back to object mode. Shift, unit height, width, height. I'll make change to the height. Okay, that thing didn't change much either. If I make random to U and V, I can randomize this slightly. Although that's probably not a very good idea. Gonna keep it normal. So basically, if you have like a node in SpreadJob that generates staggered points, we can have this much easier. I'm pretty sure we can actually set it up using this grid and then just merge some of the points, and you're gonna get like a crisscrossing points. But this is I guess should be enough as a demo. It's here, if you really want, you can still kind of adjust the position of the image. Let me try real quick. So any changes will update accordingly. It's gonna propagate to the setup. So I just lowered the image slightly. We can have more or less of this hexagon pattern simply by adjusting these numbers. Let's make this 24, for example. That means I have more head space. Okay, that's it's kind of doing it. Update it. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can see this is all just hexagonal pattern, and then each one have this different color, and this is just a single object basically. If I go to object mode, I can just move this guy, no problem. I can kind of rotate it 90 degree or animate it. It should still work. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this live noding video. Hopefully this is useful. If you have any question, feedback, suggestion, let me know down below. Thanks again for